Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
So I always try to break the tails down for my ordinary people on the street. When they say mismanagement, what is it? Say people that are really good and still. Yeah, you see, when they say mismanagement, as though they are not of sound mind. They are of sound mind. These are people, some of them actually have PhDs, they wrote exams with clear mind, conscience, they passed it very well. When they are in their homes, they don't mismanage their homes. So what makes anybody think that all of a sudden they go to a company and then they start mismanaging? They go and steal, deliberately take decisions that were near to their benefit. Once you begin to say it this way, then people would now understand. Like Doc rightly said, 1963, TOR was established to fit into the Kwame Nkrumah 7-year development plan. Because you know, energy is an engine. When it comes to an economy, you can't do without energy. So to further our industrialization drive, TOR was brought in. In fact, it was an Italian company, and by 1977, Ghana as a country bought it. We bought all the shares to make it a state-owned company. Look at that too, from that time to date. They were doing tolling business. It was a tolling refinery where they would process finished and semi-finished products here and there. At that time, knowledge was even down. Today, we have all the knowledge available in management, the technology. The last 8 years alone, more than almost seven managers manage the place. This one will go in within 2 months, is out. The next one going, when he goes in, go and make his money, he comes out, the person will go. They use it as a bank. They were all stealing from there. Thievery. And deliberately ran down the place. And as they were running down the place, see here, this country, we don't put one and one together. Because TOR remains the only company in this country that has these large tank farms, fuel farms. Immediately, another refinery popped up called Centio. And guess what? Centio does not have tank farms. And that was around the same time that they were discussing the sale of TOR. Are you adding one and one together? A state company that politicians must make sure it survives, deliberately they're running it down. The same vein, a private company from so-called China comes in, a refinery is open, TOR has tank farms, this refinery opens. Which refinery opens without tank farms? So let's deliberately run it down, then we will sell it, and these people will just go and buy it and be storing their fuel there, and that is it. It is in their hands. But it fits into the narrative of the Japadia book.
But I'm not cutting you, but we also had reports
yes.
that even while TOR was operating,
yes.
some private companies,
yes.
even individuals,
yes.
were buying crude and refining it using
but that has been the case. It is
so even though it was dysfunctioning,
yes.
They were still operating.
No, they were
behind the scenes.
They keep storing it there. Today they store it there. It's the big guys, you call them politicians, financiers. Deliberate. Now, how on earth would a country called Ghana have a refinery called TOR? Discovers oil somewhere 2008, and as part of the agreement that we did with the oil companies, we did not even see the need to allocate some of the crude from the oil fields to TOR, so that it will be refined for us to get all the byproducts from kerosene to gas to bitumen to plastics to jet fuel and so on, for us to receive that massive benefit. But rather we send our crude to Rotterdam and to Singapore for it to be refined and brought back to us. And you think these people don't know? They know, but because of corruption. They gave you a book called Japadia book. Go and read it all in how to take over every asset in this country. These people, and they are walking about freely. So it makes even discussing the matter sometimes so annoying. We see thieves daily walking on our streets. Now, the other one, the finance man who has run away to US, God works. Go and bring a lawyer for us to see. Elliot Kasimi, a corrupt lawyer. That guy was nearly put in jail in Afghanistan. He is a California's lawyer. Show me your friend, let me tell you your character.
Yes.
And he got a nerve. He should move from that US, his comfort zone, and come here. And let's sort it out here. Deliberately. Either than that, TOR should be a viable business. We use crude like nobody. What is our daily consumption of crude in this country? Or fuel? So if you have a company like that, why must it be running at a loss? So the first point is that, and I'm happy, at least they have resumed operations. What it means is that government must be investing. But the machines that are there, some of them needs upgrade before they can process their products into standardized one, like the kerosene and the gasoline that we're talking about. So they need investment. But once they have started making money, that is $21 million, then it gives impression to the investor community that we have now gotten credible. Leadership is everything. Forget about any semantics that anybody. It's leadership. If you have quality leadership, you get quality results. If you have leadership that is honest, that's not corrupt, you get quality results. Then they can be entered into agreements to have investment in there. Because once it's a going concern, it means sustainability will pay off whatever debt. Does it not surprise you? And once again, when you say it, and people are not behind bars, but rather those that have stolen plantain and goats are behind bars, they're in a noise or beats every imagination. As far back as 2003, we passed an act 642. Remember? TOR recovery levy. Yeah. They put 8 pesos on each liter we bought. At that time, the total debt of TOR was around $320 million. Between 2003 to 2024, you know, at the point they converted it to ESRA, we have collected $700 million. How on earth do we still have $570 million sitting in the books of TOR assets debt? It means the money has found its way into the pockets of these politicians that you call honorables, excellencies, whatever. In this country, we call thieves honorables. And they have gone to hid the money somewhere, are waiting in the future that they will come and tell me, my daughter, my son, that our parents were very they were hard workers, hard-working Ghanaians. They were so smart. Our parents came to say they were smart. Who is smart in there? Because the law allowed them to walk about freely. Either than that, why would that guy at National Scholarship Secretariat, who mismanaged the entire place, would be at Parliament and be making law for you and I? Why should it happen? Why would we as a country have the benefit of the Obotan deal as Senate in 1998-99 when Kenneth Oyada swindled the whole Senate when we some of us petitioned, though I was in the NPP, petition Parliament that look, this man don't pass him as a Minister of Finance, yet Parliament unanimously approved him. If you approve such a person, come and swindle the economy, who caused him? Now who caused him? So the new administration, the young man combat, keep focus. If nobody remembers you, posterity. Do something for the state. It's not all about money. Do it. Collect your name. Let people say that when this company collapsed, there was a young man called Combat, ably supported by the president of the day, said that no, we will not allow state assets to go waste like that, and that they turn the fortunes of the company around. That is my wish.
You know that Combat worked like that. Okay.
Yes.
So he was pruned. And that's what I'm saying. That it's a continuation of the process. Okay. He understands clearly the vision, and with the backing of this president, and with the warning that there shouldn't be corruption, I believe we will succeed.
As for the corruption, you have people who will be corrupt. That one, don't be too sure.
I'm saying that, but Ghanaians will have to keep an eye. And of course, on the 7th of January, Arise Ghana will be having a press conference. A year assessment of the NDC administration.
Yes.
And I can assure you that going forward, we will man every sector by sector. We will not wait for the NPP to occupy that space. No. Not a corrupt kind of people coming to just make noise, but we will make sure that Ghana doesn't go back to the days where demonstrations were necessary. If we have to make sure that the president removes somebody, it will be done. That's important. Credible people. And I invite you to join Arise Ghana.
I have no difficulty. Ghana first. Once it's in the interest of Ghana, what's the big deal? But what I'm saying is that when what has happened at all, it means ECG2 could be turned around.
Yes.
Cocoa, how can you go and sell cocoa? You have off takers. So has it crossed your mind? Cocoa. You have the farmers. You go and buy from them. The buyers are also there. They even pre-finance it. They give us the money. Yet we say we have incurred a debt to the tune of 32 billion. And we have the people walking about.
Our prepaid money too is locked up still with PDS.
Hey, are we okay?
No, we should be angry.
We are not angry enough.
No, we are not. This country, you see, we give too much fanfooling respect to people that must not get even a cent of our respect. They are too corrupt. They are too corrupt. They are too. The corruption cry is even too English. They are thieves to the highest order. Over here, that's what it is.
Right. Let's still stay within the same frame, and I want us to turn our attention to gold board, because over the weekend I listened to some heated debate. We will do ECG because I can't buy power. You know, yes, and they issued a statement so annoyingly just to tell you that they're having difficulty. Yes.
No, it's talking about gold board.
No, we are referring to ECG. Yes.
Let's do ECG first. Yes.
What should we do? Gold board, or we should box it together because of the time.
Yes. Let's box it together.
So we should box it together.
Yes.
ECG says that they are facing a technical problem. So every customer that has that MMS are on the MMS line to purchase credit.
Unfortunately for us, everything around us also depends on electricity. So they must understand their role in society. Go there and then there is no light. You will not be happy.
Yeah.
And what even annoys the more is that when you call their contact centers, I always fight with them. When you call them, then they will ask you of the problem. You give them the locations here and there. Say, okay, we will report it. But do you have any idea where it comes? We will get back to you. We will resolve it. But definitely you have to resolve it. That one is not an answer. Why are you there as ECG? When the line goes off, you have to resolve it. So you telling me to be resolved is not an answer. I need the timelines so that I can plan. They have never been able to give any timelines. So I wonder why they will even have a call center that cannot. It means someone is not doing his or her work right. And for me, it's disappointing. We must go back and also look at the loopholes. Afenyo Martins has told us that there is a lot of thievery that happens there. You see, these are some of the things.
He was a butcher, if I remember.
He willingly told us that.
In Parliament, yeah?
He willingly.
That's an official record.
Official record.
Yes.
There's thievery there. And he's still walking about.
Yeah.
I've not been any commission of inquiry for him to expatiate on where and how they steal.
Yeah.
A company that buys cables that they do not even need.
Yeah,
the cables that they need, they don't buy. The cables that they don't need, just like cocoa board. Jute sacks.
Just that they don't need.
They will buy jute sacks and they are bought up to 2030.
They have even bought University of Ghana land for $12 million.
Can you imagine cocoa board?
Cocoa board, yes.
Bought University of Ghana land for $12 million?
Yes.
And the boy, he didn't do?
Yes.
That this is serious.
Randy must start.
No, this is a serious matter.
Wow.
To do what?
Randy must answer.
They are going to plant cocoa beans or what? This is what they do with their money, our money.
$12 million.
Yes.
Ay, my goodness, this one you have spoiled my day. $12 million dollars.
Yes. 12 million.
Oh la la! No wonder we are swimming in debt over there. So we need a serious managerial skill at ECG. the technical guys must also take some of the blame.
Yeah.
Because it cannot be only be that the political heads come there and you mismanage with them. I said that the mismanagement is thievery. It benefits these technical guys, but they know the job more than the politicians. So why don't we have an open discussion and question all of them one by one? Why we are where we are? Open frank discussions. Let's heal ourselves. Because the consumer is always at the receiving end. Let them go and do their nonsense, and all that they will come and tell us is that they have to increase prices. And PENDREAM will always come with beautiful explanation.
Yeah.
The dollar has depreciated, prices of items. They always find this template. I look at that and say, hey, public utility regulatory authority, you are always on the side of the supplier. Has never been on the side of the consumer. All because of someone's corruption.
Yeah.
Let's go in. Let's go. We have to do surgical operations with all these institutions. And once we are able to tame it, I tell you, Ghana will not be suffering like the way we are suffering, left, right, center. Let me end it here.
Let me just I'll come. Let me just read a couple of the messages, and then we'll continue. Yeah, I did. Yeah. So maybe today I'll go beyond the 10 o'clock. Maybe I'll ask the MCRs to give us some few minutes in addition. Solo is right as usual. When I see in this thing is that leadership matters, and all politicians are the same. The oral team must be up and doing and go after those who messed up TOR, as Solo said. This is from Nasir Mohammed. This one is also from Nasir. Okay. Just a minute. Let me get my... So it's all about commendations here. Nothing... Yeah. Okay. This one is that with the ECG, they should move Mr. Combat and his men and women there or similar person. Okay, you want us to shift TOR to ECG for them to.
Right. So the decision that every procurement is inflated by a factor of 150%. It is no. ECG, every procurement is inflated. Who doesn't know this there?
Let's end the conversation. Last week, the Sahelian states, they have formed, their command, formed a strong military command, for their sister countries. How beyond these interventions across the continent, what are your perspectives on what has happened over the period?
I don't think the Sahelian countries or the countries that have come together, they have formed any strong military command. Let us not delude ourselves. These are our PR gimmicks. Because they were first of all members of the ECOWAS. ECOWAS wasn't strong. You see, they must get it clear that no single country in Africa can do it alone. The earlier they came back to the drawing board for us to deal with ourselves as ECOWAS, the better. Yes, ECOWAS has been a toothless organization, has been replete with a lot of corrupt leaders who does not wish the sub-region well. That is why it seems to be that. But there is no doubt that together as a body, making a population of almost 400 million, can do better than these 3 or 4 countries that make up the Sahelian region. Their population will not be much, that's number one. Number 2, they are landlocked countries that will still depend on countries that have the ports. So you say you are going on your own, but you will still depend on countries like Ghana, countries like Ivory Coast, countries like Benin for your survival. So it makes nonsense of the whole idea of separating yourself from ECOWAS. And for me, the earlier they reconsider their position, the better. You see, one thing is very clear, David, and must be clear if it is not so clear to leaders in the past. The happenings in 2025 must begin to agitate the minds of current crop of presidents on the continent. In Togo in 2025, the Gen Zs, they rose up.
Yeah.
against Nasingbe. In Kenya, Gen Zs, they rose up. In fact, Tanzania, if there has been any president who really suffered in 2025, it's Ruto.
Yeah.
At a point, the Gen Zs were dictating how the country was run. Every day he needed to explain himself to the Gen Zs. So when leaders fail to lead, followers will lead you. And what is the problem? It's very simple. And I strongly believe that it is not far off from Ghana. Because if you take Africa's population of about 1.2 billion, data has it that we have close to about 35% of our population falling between the ages of 15 and 35. That translates to almost 420 million human beings in this bracket. What is their major problem? Jobs, 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 and jobs. Human beings must eat. Survivor. And nothing can replace hunger. There is nothing. Hell, people can come and give you that motivational speeches here and there. If the person is hungry, he's hungry. But it cannot also be that a continent that has about 60% of the world's arable land will be complaining of hunger. It tells you that our leadership is failing. And that is why I'm bringing your mind back to the Sahelian region, that they must go back to the ECOWAS. ECOWAS must go back to the AU. There must be a one united Africa that is ready to roar. And not these individualistic things that we are doing. It will not get anywhere. Look, if you went to Burkina, some of the things that I see on, a lot of these are engineered on social media. There is nothing seriously happening there. Take it from me. Poverty is still rife. Poverty will greet you when you enter Ouagadougou. Same with Mali. The last time they were even contemplating going back to the IMF. That is the stark reality. That is the stark reality. So until we begin to have a blueprint, and I'm happy my leader, Mr. Chemanti, recently led the Organization of Africa Summit in Accra here. The entire team, the long and short of it, that we move from no action talk only to implementation. So I asked one of the leaders over there they were giving us lectures. I told them, look, this is not the solution. Go and bring all the African presidents here, let them come and face it. And they should tell us why we cannot unite, why we cannot do things together. Let them give us the answers here. Because the policy makers, many a times, we go and have all these discussions. They are sitting somewhere. When you are done and present the report, they don't even read it. How can you have France, a country with a population of 58 million, have a permanent seat at the UN Security Council, and Africa as a continent, we have no representation? It is because of individualism. We go as individuals. The Congo alone can sort us out. But you have to understand also that people or other continents have a huge interest in our continent. Because they know the day we will be liberated, they will be in the other side of the world. They will also be poor. So if you were them, would you sit down for us to be liberated? That is the mindset Africans must approach anything. So they have their institutions. They have the IMF there. Their country representative is here. Even when we are going to drink coffee at the Ministry of Finance, they are sitting on the table. You think they love us? You have the World Bank there. You go and see these people. If you sit down in the same classroom with them, they are nowhere near us. They can't think further than us, but they are the ones advising you. So they make sure that you entangle yourself. For me, the time for us to implement that. Look, Rwanda and Congo has an issue. They have an issue. Where did they go and solve it? Washington. Hey, and you think the Americans, they love you so much. Washington, that you are going to solve your problem. When all of you every year, both Tshisekedi and then what's the name of the Rwandan president, Paul Kagame, they always go to the AU meetings. So when you go to the AU meetings, what do you go and do? Can't you sit down mano a mano and solve the problems rather than flying all the way to Washington for a Igbo man to say that stop fighting before you stop? This is the African leaders we have. That is the mentality. Everything Oyibo has to come in. Look at what Ouattara is doing in Côte d'Ivoire. You fought Gbagbo. That time we agreed with you that why must Gbagbo continue to perpetuate himself on the seat? Not knowing there was Afro is even worse than anybody. Worse. Tanzania, the woman too came because she will be doing something else. All of a sudden, bam. And for Museveni, nobody wants to even talk about him. So that is a problem we have. The solution lies in we doing things together, taking out the borders, doing things as a unit. Because whether we like it or not, there are countries with special skills. And economics is a comparative advantage. Kenya will be comparatively have advantage in a certain sector. That is where you put all the ideas together. We brought after. We are not even able to implement it well. Because transportation alone is a bane. Moving goods from one part of Africa to the other is a problem. David, you make your mind that you are going to Guinea. Guinea from Accra to Guinea should not take you more than 2 hours. Yeah. But I can tell you, you spend 2 days on the way. You fly to Côte d'Ivoire, you have to sleep there. Then why? These are the issues that must agitate our minds. Do you face the same problem when you are moving from Belgium to the UK to Madrid to it is so seamless. Yeah. The various forces are working. This is where Africa must think. Else the implosion that awaits us. The last time I was going to the Labadi area on a fine Saturday, David, you have taken at the bad here because you are bad. You don't want the bad people.
The bad is from the Oyibo man. So, let's take what the indigenous people have. So
the I was going to laugh.
Good.
You want to buy us for using the body. You want to take out the body. And I drove past the airwork, David. I cried within me. I saw the numbers that I saw going for the recruitment. I swear my father's grave. I said, what is happening? A lot of young ones have finished school and they are home. They finished national service. They are home. They have no hope. You are eating and think it's okay. No. Something is wrong somewhere. You are at the office signing doctrine documents and taking our money. You think it's okay. Something is wrong somewhere. So Africa, it is for us and only us that can turn our fortunes around. I'm only hoping that, like we said, we will begin to have a paradigm shift, a radicalized minds, not in the negative sense. People that really want to say enough is enough. Our forebears fought for the better parts of the world. That is why we have all the mineral resources, everything you need in this world to develop in our part of the world. Why is it that when it comes to leadership, we are lacking? Why is it the case that we don't have them? We have them. But David, put yourself up for position tomorrow as the president. You go for a campaign. I mean, I've said anytime I go to campaign and we are done and people are coming to me, the crowd, I say, you must be crazy. Did you put money in my pocket? I will give you money. Don't vote for me. I don't see why I have to buy your conscience. Give me just one reason why I have to pay you before you vote for me. Because I am going to serve you. I have never seen a situation where a servant has to pay master. You are the master. If anything, you have to pay me to serve you. But as I'm serving you, you say I should take money from you for you. That means I have to go and borrow or steal or go and get someone to invest in me. And when I get the power, that person has to come and shortchange all of us. So that is Africa's situation. But we will get there. The happiness in Togo where the Gen Z they have to speak up. Yeah. What happened in Kenya, leaders must sit up.
The leaders, sometimes when you talk to people, they feel that we are cushioned against such implosions.
No, we are not. In fact,
Ghanaians are peace-loving. Ghanaians are peace-loving people.
But we are in Ghana, we are Boku in this country. You remember? We are not out of the woods. Look, there is a limit to which the human being can accommodate some of the things that we do to them. Every day, Lampedusa, we hear Africans die on that sea. African Union every year. I'm tempted to believe that the reason why they cited the AU's head office in Addis Ababa was not to think about Africa, but it was for women. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Because look at the number of times you have visited, attended AU meetings. That we are still where we are. Borderless Africa. We can't do it from Ghana to Benin to Nigeria. Go and see the borders on the road. Meanwhile, at the same time, when we are moving from the Netherlands, Amsterdam through to Belgium to France, as though you are moving from Accra to Kumasi. How have they been able to do this and we are unable to do it?
Well,
I went to the wise.
all right, so that's the views of my panel on the African continent, their perspective on the African continent. We try to bring into view what's been happening across the continent in 2025, because we have just 2 days and a year goes to end. So we try to do a little bit of perspective here and there. Let's come back home. We've had news that the TOR refinery is back in operations. In fact, they've resumed operations. But the big questions on the mindset of a lot of Ghanaians that I've even spoken to is the fact that, look, we bring TOR on, we spend millions of cedis, trying to bring them back on stream. In the next 2-3 months, it takes the same people, either through alleged allegations of corruptions and mismanagement, for us to run the refinery down.
Dedi kama mamena PENDREAM TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.